hell are you crackling?
I know, it sounds like you're putting away a bag of like 24 pack of crisps.
Hello there, and welcome to the Geeky Dad Strike Back, Season 3, Episode 5. I'm your host, Ian Duffy, joined by Mike Shelshire.
Hello, by the way, we didn't know Ian was about to hop Ian.
Yeah.
And Craig
Thought it was
Edwards.
bag of crisp. Howdy.
What we told you, Craig, you need to do the... you need to put the howdy. You need to do it 3 times.
I just throw you off every week.
No. I think that was perfect because literally neither of us knew you were going to do that.
I know, like what you
There's a sort of pause before I even speak. It's fun. Leave all of this in. This is fucking ace.
Oh, I am. Don't worry. I'll be leaving all of this in.
Oh god.
Yeah. So, how is everybody? I know we've quite literally just watched the new Beetlejuice trailer.
Yes.
Or Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
Good.
I've been playing the new Alone in the Dark game, which is
it any good?
It's pretty good, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people hating on it, which I can understand a little bit, because there is some like frame stutter issues on like even consoles and PC. But it's down to the fact that there's no shader caching loading at the start. I think it'll happen in an update coming up like pretty quick, so I'm going to wait a little bit and then play it once they've added the shader cache thing. But other than that, yeah, the atmosphere is perfect. David Harbour's in it, like as one of the main characters, and he's pretty good in it. It feels like the original game, like being put into a modern game. So I think it's really ace. I think a lot of people are hating on it though because it's not Resident Evil, but it never was.
I believe Liverpool's own Jodie Comer's in it as well.
Can you stop it with the helium?
Okay, I'll stop it. Sorry.
I'll
stop with the helium. This is true. Yeah, I believe Liverpool's own Jodie Comer's in it, isn't she?
Yes, absolutely, she is.
Is she playing a Scouser or is she playing a Brit?
No, she plays like a very sort of. Well, everyone's sort of. It's very sort of set in like 1940s, like late 30s, early 40s. It's got a real. What's it called? I always forget his name. The guy who came up with Cthulhu.
H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, it's got a very Lovecraftian vibe to it, which the original game did as well. I think I played it on the Sega Saturn originally. But yeah, it's got a massive Lovecraftian vibe to it. It's so creepy though. Like if you do play it with headphones on, because there's like you'll open the door and you'll be walking down the corridor and like looking at things, and then like 5 minutes later that door will slam in the distance for no reason whatsoever. And you're like, what the fuck?
So I'd say it's a bit more like Silent Hill.
Yeah, it's got heavy Silent Hill vibes. But I say this was like the first game of that genre, so it's nice to see it come back to its roots. Because they have tried to do other ones, but they were shit.
The only thing I've never played any of the Alone in the Dark games. The only like really experience I've had with Alone in the Dark was the Uwe Boll film, which was god awful.
Yeah, I don't even remember that film. I remember it coming out. I remember trying to watch it, but it was one of them films that it was just shit. It was nothing like what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
That was definitely a Hollywood rewrite film.
Hollywood what?
Rewrite film where they've come in with a premise and then they've gone, yeah, but we'll change it and we'll do this and we'll do this and we'll do this, and it ends up not being the same thing.
Fair enough. I get what you mean. Well, I watched the Iron Claw last week, and I'm not gonna lie, it's based on a true story. It's about the Von Erich family. They were a family of wrestlers. One was in the WWF actually. It was Texas Tornado.
Yeah.
So I mean, I won't go spoil it for you, but it's a true story. It's really tragic, and I was an absolute mess by the end.
It was just very highly rated at the moment by the looks.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, Zac Efron. I mean, I've always seen him more as a comedy actor or kids film, if you like that sort of thing. But in this film, he was absolutely brilliant. Lily James is in it from Downton Abbey. The fellow who plays the lead actor from The Bear, he plays the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, and he was really good.
Oh yeah. The chef thing. I can't remember his name.
The thing that you love, the thing that you was rating.
I absolutely love it, and you know what? I'm so bad at actors' names. I should know his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. He was in Shameless, and I saw he was actually in the news this week that he's been forced to deny that he's the grandson of Gene Wilder because they look so alike.
Oh yeah, he wanted him to play the younger one, didn't he? Yeah, because he wanted him to play the younger version for Wonka. People said, why didn't he play it?
That would have actually worked really well. I think he did quite well in it.
He played Lip in the American.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, he picked Philip Lip, they call him, don't they?
Have any of you watched Ricky Stenicki yet?
No, it's on Amazon Prime. I keep meaning to watch it.
It's got very mixed reviews, but it's one of them films. Like if you like films like Road Trip and stuff like that, you'll enjoy it. And like
I do like films like that.
Yeah, it's just a daft comedy, with daft comedians in, and John Cena like in drag out like some points. Like it's worth watching. It is funny. So
I am going to give it a try. Just find the time to like sit down and watch it.
I was laughing quite a lot at it, but I just seen it as like one of them like road trippy type films. So yeah, and like The Hangover and stuff like that. It's just is that vibe, and yeah, it's been done a million times, but it's still funny.
Yeah. What else was I going to say then? I've been watching. So this week I've actually been watching the new Pokemon series, Pokemon Horizons, on BBC iPlayer. The first 20 episodes are up now, so I'm about 15 episodes in. It's actually really good.
Is that the one without Ash in it now?
Yeah. But I'm not going to spoil anything. But there was a character in it which I thought that's like in a costume. I thought that's going to be Ash, and it wasn't.
Is it on
so
Netflix?
I was actually wrong. No, it's on BBC iPlayer. The series where Ash wins the World Championship, we was watching it the last week. That's on Netflix, but Pokemon Horizons is just on BBC iPlayer at the moment. They've just dropped and the last month they dropped 20 episodes.
Does it tie in? Does it tie in a lot with more Pokemon Go style stuff and
Well, because I play Pokemon Go, I mean, I noticed a lot of characters from it, so maybe I know they did a lot of promotion on Pokemon Go for it.
Yeah.
Like stickers and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm not surprised, obviously.
Yeah. Well, this weekend we were just all playing Pokemon Go. Did loads of raids. There's a Mewtwo raid next weekend, so we'll all be. I'm getting as many coins as I can, so I can get loads of passes, so I can do as many. Join as many.
I had loads of free coins the other week, and you were like, "Nah, I've got loads. I don't need them."
Yeah, because I got them through Amazon Prime as well.
Yeah, but I'll give you my code. I don't use it.
I've not played it in ages as well. Like I said, it's been years since I played it properly.
Oh, sorry, I lost you then.
So it's been years since I've played it properly. I don't even have the app anymore.
He'll still be on the record, and I still heard him. So.
Oh, okay.
Like I say, well, I mean, you had that last August because you had me. You haven't bloody opened any.
I know, that's what I mean, because that's last August. That's when the last point I had to go of it, and it was only a quick go. Just didn't bother.
I had it when it first came out, and I kept walking down Wig Island, which was really good for catching Magikarps, and you could end up with a Gyarados really quick.
Well, that's it. There was an event on ages ago where there was loads of Magikarp you can catch. So I've got like, I think like you need 400 like candy. So every time you get, say you get like 3 candy for every Magikarp you catch, I must have got about 2,000 candy. So I've got like an army of Gyaradoses now, or Garys as I call them.
Yeah. That was me. Basically, you could just walk up and down the Mersey sort of like estuary, and you could catch loads and loads of Magikarps just along there, and there was loads of Pokestops along there as well. So,
yeah,
but
I was.
other than that, I've not played it since.
Well, I've been over to Runcorn like twice this week, so I was doing all the Pokestops there while I was on the bus. And what I was going to say, I caught quite a few Charizards as well. So it's what I was going to say. When I first started playing it, I got it because Tommy liked Pokemon at the time, so I was doing it. So me and Tommy went to pick him up from his mum's. Tommy would be on my shoulders, and we would. So we'd go catch him, but I'd go up like first thing on a Saturday morning, so like 6, 7 o'clock, or 7 o'clock in the morning, to get the first train to go and pick him up from his mum's. And I'd be walking through, you know, the park opposite the Park Hall in Warrington.
Yeah.
So it was always full with the drunks and the crackhead, you know, the druggies first thing in the morning, and we'd all be dead confused because the park was full of people catching Pokemon.
So looking around, going, can you see all these people just like walking around in circles, looking at their phones?
Yeah.
No, Dave, just take another hit.
A lot of people do that anyway, don't they? Just walk around with the phones anyway, just looking at the screens in circles.
To that, when we was doing there was big big mega raids this weekend, so we was in Warrington, and we've just followed these like big groups of people all doing. So we just followed them going from one gym to the next doing the raids. It was brilliant. It was really fun.
That seems like a really fun thing to do, and especially if you've got kids and stuff. It's a fun little adventure, isn't it? But not first thing in the morning when the crackheads are out.
No. I was this fellow who walked around Warrington twice we saw him, and he's just wearing a hoodie, and he's just wearing, you know, one of those white masks that you're getting that you're meant to decorate, but it just looks like something out of a horror film.
Oh, like what are they called? The masks that they said that during COVID are the best ones.
No, it's not like a face mask to protect any PPE. This is just like literally just, you know, one of those masks you buy in like the works and you paint and decorate.
Oh right, okay.
But it's just a plain white mask. Oh god, it was terrifying. But start them and you just turn around and they're there.
By the way, if my voice seems deeper than normal, it's because tree pollen has started coming down, and where I am,
it's
quite bad for tree pollen, and my hay fever kicks off this time of year, so I get like Barry White voice.
Oh. All the listeners will be loving it then.
I hate it because my throat's horrible.
Hello, baby.
Trees are green.
Okay, so is anybody?
Barry White, by the way.
No. So is there anything else anybody wants to share before we move on?
Yeah, I'm still playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm 70 hours into it.
Do you know what? I'm so jealous.
It came out 3 weeks ago today, and I'm 70 hours into it, and I'm still like nowhere near done. Like
it's me and I miss BG3 because of this, and now I want to play Final Fantasy, and I hate it.
And like I said, it's just like I said, it's because of a card game as well. They made a new card game called Queen's Blood, and it's just one of those where it gets addictive.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous. It's like Blitzball from Final Fantasy X. That was addictive.
Oh, that was so good.
And now they brought this one, Queen's Blood, in, and that's just bloody addictive and good to play. But it's like I said, I'm doing all this. I'm making sure
Witcher
I do all
3,
this.
Is it similar to like Gwent? No, Witcher 3.
I've not played Witcher 3, so I'm not sure.
Oh my god! Well, when you finish this, play Witcher 3 because you'll fucking love it.
I've got Witcher 3. I think I only played like an hour of it. Then I put it down.
Dude. But me and Craig are into like RPG games, and we tend not to play them. So.
See, I like RPG game. It depends on the game, though. Like, I think I did start playing Witcher 3 a bit, but it's one of those ones where like you have to. Doesn't it have like your sword has like a duration on it and stuff like that, and you have to repair and stuff like. I can't. I'm sure.
No. You have two swords. One's a steel sword and one's a silver sword. No, you don't need to keep repairing them. It's not like
Oh, that's
fucking-
right there.
it's not like
So-
Zelda.
Yeah, I hate games like that though, like the RPGs like that. And you have to do all. It's just like, just let me level up, let me add points to stats and stuff like that, and then let me
No,
fight.
the-
They're the
what I-
RPGs that I like.
what I would say is with Witcher 3 is if you hit all the side quests before moving on, you end up so OP that you'll just smash through them. And the
Hmm.
side quests, but the side quests in the game are so story driven. They're like main quests, so it's worth doing them. They feel like main quests anyway, so it's just you want to do them. So I would genuinely suggest hitting as many side quests as you can before like moving on a bit, because you'll end up with so much equipment you won't even know what. You'll end up just fencing it all and just making tons of money. So it's not a difficult game, I thought, but the story's so good.
I don't know whether I mentioned this on the last episode, just before we move on, that about BG3, Baldur's Gate 3. So I've got it. I'm waiting for it to go down so I can go down in price so I can get it. And I got a notification because it's on my wish list on the PSN store. It tells you when it's on sale. I got a notification.
Yeah, it went down £5. Was it? Or
Yeah,
something like that.
that was it. Yeah, went down
You
£5.
literally said
like
that. You
10%.
literally said this in the last podcast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He said they didn't know if I told you.
Yeah. You did,
Yeah, that was it. Okay, I already said it then.
You told us.
But it will come down eventually when it
Yeah.
starts sort of like, and when you do, because they still haven't put the crossplay into it yet. So hopefully when you do get it, crossplay will come back, and then I'll reinstall it and I'll do story mode with you. I'll join you every now and then.
That sounds brilliant. I think I'd love that.
Yeah, I think it'd be ace.
Okay, so let's move on.
You won't get away with this, Skeletor. He-Man and Fisto are on their way, and you know what Fisto likes to do.
Guess what, you floating fleshlight? Joke's on you! We're into that shit! Now stay there like a good little prisoner whilst I speak to these folks at home. Attention, listeners of the Geeky Dad Strike Back. This is Skeletor. You can now follow them on Instagram and Facebook and even on Twitter.
Boss, don't forget, Twitter is now called X.
I know that, you ginger-haired merkin. I simply refuse to acknowledge anything named by a guy who's willing to stick his dick in head.
And Skeletor, don't forget TikTok.
TikTok? Seriously? They're middle-aged. Not fucking teenagers, for fuck's sake. Yes, and you can now follow them on TikTok.
Oh, and don't forget.
I know. Now piss off the both of you. Have a bath. Man, you smell like Evil Lynn's fanny. And Beastman, your fur is so matted from all the red rocket you and Trapdoor have been playing. Yes, I can hear both of you at night. You can listen to the Geeky Dad Strike Back episodes on Spotify, Stitcher, Podcasts, Audible, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
So, this week, we're not going down a pop culture route this week. It was Michael's suggestion, actually, wasn't it? That we were going to talk about our musical influences.
Yeah, because we've not really sort of like talked about music influence that much, and you know me, I love music. Yeah, I always have. You've known me a long time now. I've always been into music. I was always obsessed with it. So, yeah,
So,
be a nice little topic.
yeah, definitely. And I promise I won't sing on this episode.
Go ahead. It's
No, I don't think so. Okay, so yeah. How do I put this? So for me, my musical taste is very eclectic. Lot of major influences. Some that I think growing up in the groups the friendship groups I was in, kind of got a bit, I want to say mocked a little bit. Not mocked, but I mean, because I was into indie, and a lot of people in my friend group
Indie
they
was
were all
very big around that time, so
so I was into
yeah.
bands like Oasis,
Blur.
Ocean Scene. I wasn't ever into Blur. I never really
Was you
rated
not?
them.
I really like
No.
Blur. Yeah.
I think I've already covered on the Turtles episode that the first single I ever bought was, in fact, Turtle Power by Partners in Crime on vinyl. So I'm showing my age there. I had it for like 2 days, and then I broke the record player because it just kept playing on repeat and broke the needle.
I love the
My
fact
parents
that you
just
say
never.
you show your age there. You're a year older than me.
I know, yeah, but we had vinyl when it was actually, you didn't have a choice. It wasn't a cool thing to have. It just that was.
I talk
you had
about
vinyl.
this on mine, to be honest with you, but yeah, cool. It was a big thing.
So what we're going to do is we are going to talk about. We've each picked 3 songs, hopefully, Craig, that represent maybe have a little story, or it's just how that song or that particular artist or genre has affect. Has how do I put this? How this how it's influenced us, and how how it makes us feel. So I'm not going to go first. I'm going to let Mike go first with his fit. So what's going to happen is
first last week. I think you should go first. Yeah,
me. Okay, right. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use now. I don't know if this is going to be specifically for listeners on Spotify, but there's an option called Music and Talk. So what happens? We'll talk about something. We'll play a song, and then we'll move on to the next one. Maybe have a little chat about it.
It will be Spotify only. That.
Yeah. So what we'll do is
free.
But it's but if you still have Spotify to listen to it, what we'll do is I will post a link to a YouTube playlist on our Facebook page once the episode's up. So if you don't have it, you'll listen to the songs that we're listening to. If you understand what we mean. So you're getting a taste of it if you haven't heard the song before. So I'm going to go with my first choice. Now I was originally going to go with an Irish folk song called The Green Fields of France. Now
I was going to say you literally just said it 2 minutes ago before the podcast.
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago I was talking about it. Yeah, it's a song called The Green Fields of France. Now, the story behind this is growing up, my parents every Saturday night would get drunk in the conservatory and play music on the CD player, and guaranteed every Saturday night, my drunk father. I mean, this is when he drank. He was almost teetotal before he passed away. Just through choice, really. But he'd always bring me out, say, "Oh, Ian, come listen to this song." I'd be The Green Fields of France. I said, you need to listen to the lyrics. You need to listen to the lyrics. And I was teenager. I was too busy listening to me. Well, I'll tell you what I was listening to in a few minutes. Anyway, moved to like my mid-20s, and I listened. I think I just downloaded. He had it on MP3, so I put it on my MP3 player to listen to, and I absolutely loved it. So moving on, obviously. So I was going to choose that, but what would also say about my musical influences growing up, that every weekend, one of my oldest friends, Kevin, would come and stay with us at the weekends. Every Saturday night. So obviously my parents would be drunk in the conservatory, and they always used to have this same conversation. What song would you have played at your funeral? I don't know if anybody else's parents ever had that conversation with them.
God, absolutely. I think everyone has that conversation, don't they?
Yeah.
I think it's a normal thing.
I know, but I think I've always remember my mum saying, said, God knows, what Kevin says when he goes back to his parents. So what do you do? So Lean's parents were in the back in the conservatory, ask her what song you want playing at your funeral. I can remember what Kevin's was. That was Champagne Supernova by Oasis. My mum was I Will Survive. My dad never chose
the countdown song.
What was it? My dad never. I can't ever remember my dad actually mentioning what song he wanted. All I know is that he always never wanted "You'll Never Walk Alone." So when it came to his funeral, I was like, "Oh, what fucking song are you gonna play?" I think we ended up going with "In My Life" by the Beatles.
Yeah.
But anyway, so mine was "Angels" by Robin Williams. This is like the mid to late 90s. So obviously, now as an adult, my choice would be the Undertaker's theme from WWE. So that's just thinking before you get somebody to walk down, get an Undertaker look like to walk down.
I remember you in high school, and you did have very eclectic taste. You could listen to rock music, you could listen to pop music. You just liked everything, but not everything. But you liked good songs by lots of different artists. It wasn't just sort of like I like everything. It was particular songs by different artists that you really liked.
Yeah. But so my first choice of song, which had a big influence on my life, was based on the first album I ever bought, which was Battle Hell 2 by Meatloaf.
Damn.
I think it was just an album I just had constantly on repeat. I know I wore that CD out by the end. I mean, I remember having to replace it probably mid 2000s, the early 2000s, and like 2005 I had to go out and actually buy a new copy of it because it was just so overplayed. So many good albums on, but they're all so long, the songs. But I bought a VHS, so it was a VHS of all the music videos. So you had like 3 videos from the album. Like every album back then had you'd have 3 singles from the album, maybe 4, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And guess who the director of all 3 songs were for that album? He's a very famous director now.
Oh, for the music videos.
Yeah, so it was back. So he did. So there was 3 songs. There was "I Would Do Anything for Love," but I won't do that. "Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through," starring a very young Angelina Jolie, and a song called
they were very
"Objects in the Rearview Mirror."
So
yeah.
I don't know who the director was, in all honesty, but I remember the music videos for them.
Well, believe it or not, it was actually Michael Bay. So he did the music videos before he became a movie director.
I could see that, to be fair, because they were very big and sort of like powerful videos, weren't they? So
yeah. So
was there lots of explosions? I can't remember.
There was an explosion, and there's a motorcycle crashing through a house in Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through. In Anything for Love. There was an airplane crash in Objects in the Rearview Mirror. But I think the problem with that album is
always been obsessed with explosions.
Yeah. But all the songs in the album are absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's written by Jim Steinman. He wrote All Coming Back to Me Now. He wrote Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. So he wrote so many proper rock ballads from our rock opera style songs from our childhood. So the song I've actually chosen is the one starring Angelina Jolie, which is Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through. I'm
coming back through that is like a story my dad told me that when the original Battle Hell album came out, 1977 one, he imported the album from America, so he had it before everybody else, because he was obsessed with getting this album, and would play it on repeat constantly. And my mum and a sister heard it and liked it so much they nicked it off him, and he said he never got it back. It just disappeared. It just must have got handed off to somebody else. So yeah, there's a little story for you.
Well, I mean, luckily I managed to see Meatloaf in concert, and go to a Meatloaf gig before he died, and I think I went to see him in 2009, the Liverpool Echo Arena. I think not long after it first opened. I know what, it's probably one of the worst gigs I've ever been to.
Oh God.
It was just his voice had gone. I just couldn't. You couldn't understand the way he was singing. You couldn't understand what he was singing. So that's the first song that was Meatloaf. Yeah. So I think so that Meatloaf, Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through. Jim Steinman actually, it's a cover of one of Jim Steinman. So the fellow who wrote it actually released it earlier. It's either in the 80s or maybe the 70s. I'd also recommend listening to that version as well. So that's my first choice. Now my second song this is one I was really stuck on because obviously, like I covered earlier, I was into that time I was rocking between rock, rock ballads, so operatic rock, stuff like that. But was also, as I got into my early 20s, I started getting like into stuff, bands like Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, a lot of rock bands. So I went to see so many gigs in my early 20s, so Foo Fighters, Korn, Hoobastank, still quite eclectic, Motorhead. I went to see him twice. So Viola Vilo getting hit in the bollocks with a teddy bear.
Nice.
So Lemmy up close singing Ace of Spades.
I once seen David Albarn getting hit in the face with a bottle of piss. And I went to watch it. Yeah, I went to watch Blur. I think it was 2001, Leeds Festival, and somebody he'd actually jumped down into the crowd and he was high fiving people. And on the big screen, they had the cameras on him, and this bottle of piss came flying over and just hit him on the face. And he just shrugged it off and carried on like nothing had happened. And then got back on stage and just carried on going. So I mean, credit to him. Like he did. God, pardon the pun. He didn't get pissed off. He carried on. So, yeah, it was nice to see when like artists are like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep going."
That song, Ace of Spades, always reminds me of. I can't remember which one it was. It was either number 2 or 3, but Tony Hawk's 2 or 3, the game.
Oh yeah.
It was on one of them. I can't remember which one it was. I'm sure it was the second one.
Yeah, I think
I don't think so.
Too. Yeah. I think it was.
I think I had Tony Hawk's too, but the only song I can remember like explicitly was Blitzkrieg Bop by.
It might actually be 3. I'll have a quick look now.
It was 3. Yeah, it was 3.
Was it 3? Yeah,
I knew it wasn't in 1 because I'm currently replaying.
Well, I was going to say it's not in. I played the remaster that they did brought out, and they had the original soundtrack, and it wasn't on that. Yeah. So
it's 3.
Yeah, it'd be 3. But yeah, I remember it playing that and it being on that.
Then games came out in quick succession. They were like 1, 2, 3 in like 3 years. So not surprising. You can't remember which one it was.
So I think my second choice was probably one of the songs that, I mean, I really, really got into Alice Cooper when I was in college. So Trash was.
It's weird, like
college.
Some of the things you've been saying about like Irish and on TikTok yesterday when I was just scrolling through it, it comes up where it says when you're at an Irish wedding at 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and it's got this girl singing the Rattle Bog, and like I said, it was so like I said, I love it. It's actually a really good song, like her singing it. But you mentioned about Irish a minute ago, and then you just on about Alice Cooper. Like literally the other day, I just put Poison on my Spotify. So like I said, it's weird how you mentioned them, and I've literally just put those things on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I remember at the start I was going to pick Poison, but I ended up going for a different song off the Trash album.
Well, Alice Cooper sort of like became sort of prominent again for us, like when we were young, because of Wayne's World. Because he was in Wayne's World, the first one, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's also, I mean, the other reason why I chose Alice Cooper as well was because one of my favorite horror films is Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason Lives, and he's the theme tune from it. He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask. I always remember doing a sketch. So I'd studied multimedia at college, and I came up with this idea, and I bought a Jason mask, from like the Poundland when it was Halloween. And I'd put my hoodie up, I'd put the mask on, and we'd do like, I was making animated GIFs back then. So it'd be like a CCTV. So I'd do it all, like I'd set it all up like it was like CCTV in Photoshop afterwards. I'd just do like,
so big time videos.
So we was taking a picture, and then I'd say stop, and then next one. So it looks like, like the old CCTV, you're not getting like full movement, just getting bits at a time. So it'd always be me dressed as Jason. And I think one time we did it in tour. So I was the character I was placing, the Jason character, was grab somebody and put the head down a urinal. So we're taking the pictures. So there's one person taking the pictures. I've got the mask on, the hood up. I've got my mate in a headlock, and I'm pushing him towards the urinal, and the deputy head of the college walks in.
Oh, nice. You thought you were giving him a swirly.
Takes one look, and he just looks at us, and I think, oh shit, we're in trouble. And he just said, "It's okay, I'll use the other bathroom."
Do you know what?
He
He walked in and went, "Fucking multimedia kids," and then walked back out. That's what he did.
He did. He knew we were all mad. So
yeah, media kids were always nuts because I did multimedia as well. We were always doing absolutely crazy shit, and like the teachers would just walk in, they sort of roll their eyes and just walk back out again. We're like, yeah, okay, I like it because we're making art.
So because I was going to choose He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask, but I needed to choose a song off Trash. So I've chosen Hell Is Living Without You.
I was going to say before as well, like when we were talking about songs to play at your funeral, Mel wrote down the 3 songs that she wanted to play at her funeral, left them in a book for me. So she knew exactly what songs she wanted to play at her funeral. And like there was like one sad song and then one sort of like rocky song, and then it finished on this like fucking power metal song. And everyone was coming out with it like the feel like what the fuck? Because it was just like everyone was walking out to this power metal song. It was ace because everyone was smiling like this is mad.
It's good. I think you should. I think you should make somebody laugh.
Yeah, because I mean, it started out sad, and then it moved up to like being absolutely fucking like epic metal. But like Devon Town does like operatic metal to another level, and that's what you walked out to, this like operatic metal, and everyone was sort of like, "Whoa!" Like, most of the people were like, "Yeah, I didn't expect anything less from now." Quite a few people came over and went, "Did you choose the songs?" And I was like, "No, that wouldn't have been that fucking good."
That's a lovely story. But I would agree. I think you got to make people laugh.
You can leave.
I like songs that remind me.
Imbruglia, isn't it?
No, it was. I used to love that song, and I used to love "Smoke" by Natalie Imbruglia as well. I thought that was a beautiful song. No, it's so now I tend to listen to like songs that if any modern song, if it reminds me of the 80s or the 70s, I like it. The Weeknd, Blinding Lights, I love it because it just sounds like a song.
A lot of the Weeknd songs play on our radio and work all the time. I always think, like, that dude knows like music that was from the 70s and 80s, and it's literally embodied it in his music now. Very, very good at it.
Dua Lipa did a song called "Physical," which reminded me like an 80s song. So I focused on that and listened to that on repeat for ages. I find I believe it's an ADHD thing where I'll just listen to a song constantly on repeat.
I think it is.
I don't know.
But I think most people do that in the teens, and then when they get older, that goes away a little bit, and then you sort of like to listen to different things. But I think if you've got ADHD, maybe that stays.
Yeah, it's always stayed with me. I mean, I'll listen to a song until I'll have it on repeat for days.
I can't do that anymore. Joking. But I think it's because my music taste has got so big now that I like to listen to lots of different things. But thinking about it, I don't want to listen to a song on repeat anymore. But I definitely did, like from the age of about 8 to the age of about 25. That's what I do constantly.
Yeah. And I remember the first one I did. It was what was it? It was when when Super Mario Brothers movie came out. So 30 years ago, 31 years ago now, I suppose. I got the book for Super Mario Brothers the movie, and I bought the single from it, which was Roxette, a song called Almost Unreal.
Yeah.
I just sat in the conservatory reading the book and had the headphones on. I was just listening to Almost Unreal on repeat. It helped me just, because I was visualizing the film in my head, whilst the scene tune from the film was just on repeat constantly. It was that's the first like time I ever like properly just hyper focused on a song while I was like doing it, while I was reading. Anyway, so what I was going to say is now I tend to listen to like I listen to a lot of rock covers of 80s songs. So I've been listening to a rock cover of Vacation by the Go-Go's. This is really good. Yeah, so I think like my musical influence is still definitely got to be like 80s and 70s power ballads. That's just basic gist of it. And look, I didn't even go into the time the time of sixth form where I was singing pop songs.
No, I mean, which is fine. I mean, it's more what influenced you more about like. Yes, we all listen to pop songs, and we all have like pop
you
songs that we
still like
like.
pop songs now. Like everyone likes a pop song, no matter what.
Just talking about The Weeknd then, and like, there's some amazing songs, like pop songs.
It's like it doesn't even matter. Like it probably sounded, but like what's that? What's it? Is it NSYNC? Bye bye bye. Whenever that plays, the figure you'll always secretly in your head be like bye 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 in your head. You'll end up singing along to it or something.
You'll know
that. You'll know it. That's what I mean. Like it's just little
Robbie
weird
Williams
like
songs.
Yeah.
Robbie Williams songs. You know every single word to them. You're not a fan. Well, Ian was a fan of them, but I know every freaking word to the songs as well. So it's not bad. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so Mike, on to you then.
Yeah. So that was amazing, Ian. That was so good. I feel like I've got. I wish I went first. No. So I've got 3 as well, and I'll get straight into it, so it's not like a super long episode. But my first one is I started getting into early on in life. All I listened to was Michael Jackson. Constantly would just listen to Michael Jackson, like from an early age. But that's all I listened to, and I didn't listen to much else. But then I think the reason I was listening to Michael Jackson is because a lot of his songs had quite rocky riffs, quite like a lot of rock artists worked on a lot of Michael Jackson's stuff. And then I heard a song by Aerosmith, which was Janie's Got a Gun. And and it really sort of like struck a chord with me, and I was like, this is a really good song. And it's 1989, I think it is. Just look it up. 1989 it came out, and all of a sudden I got massively into Aerosmith, and then I started listening to other sort of like bands that were sort of like obscure bands. But the thing is, my dad and my older sister were into rock music and alternative music, so it wasn't that difficult to get my hands on stuff. Like my older sister, she was listening to all this stuff, so I'd pinch a cassette off her and listen to the cassette off her and make a copy of it and hand it back. I say pinch, I'd ask for it, like make a copy, and then that'd be in my little Walkman cassette player, like constantly listening to it. And this is what I was saying before. At that time, I would listen to music over and repeat. So I think Janie's Got a Gun was on the album Pump, and I had the whole album, but that one song really just felt so good. And it's about, the whole song's literally about a father that abuses the daughter, and then the daughter gets a gun and goes and shoots her dad. So it's a fucked up song, but it's not about a real thing. It's not a real story. There's a bit in it as well where they use 2 guitars, and together they sort of like they meld the guitars together. It's obviously in the mix rather than live, but they meld the guitars together so it sounds like sirens. And it's fucking epic when you listen to it with headphones. What I'll do is I'll clip that bit where it sounds like sirens, and I'll like send you the time codes on the video. But yeah, it sounds ace. So that sort of like brought me on to listening to other bands then, and listening to things like, I think after them I got into like Crash Test Dummies and other softy rock bands. And you'll see where this goes. This brings me to like the way I am now, and I listen to very heavy metal now. But yeah, but that's my first choice.
Man, you said about Aerosmith as well, because like literally I've not long put Aerosmith and Run MDC's Walk This Way on my Spotify as well.
That was literally going to be my other song because I was so obsessed with that, and I've got such a good story about that as well.
Walk This Way. So let me have it from the top. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's the 12th one down from my video, and I've got like over 200 songs on here. So like on my library, what I listen to normally.
You know what song I absolutely loved of Aerosmith? It was "Hole in My Soul." So good.
Yeah. Well, it is a really like funny thing, like because "Walk This Way" was originally just Aerosmith on their own.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Run DMC, Run DMC did like a mix of it, and I was at a fair with my parents. I think it was in Rill. Do you remember the old Rill fair? Yeah, I was there, and one of the rides was playing out Run DMC versus Aerosmith's Walk This Way. And I turned around to my dad and I went, "These have ripped off Aerosmith." And he went, "It is Aerosmith." It's just with the Run DMC. And I was like, "Oh, right." But it literally just come out at that point as well.
I was watching a video on TikTok as well. I was looking at the songs that I've got on here, and it was a guy who was like 5 songs that have been covered and been made more like rock, and "Live in a Vida Loca" by Ricky Martin.
Yeah.
There's a cover of that, and it's fucking awesome. The metal cover that they've done for it. It's an Cometron, I think they're called, the band. Cometron.
I love that stuff. I love the stuff. So you'll have to put us a link up for that because I love stuff like that, and I like it the other way as well. When someone takes a metal song and makes it something else, like Richard Cheese, so good at them.
That's all.
Richard Cheese takes metal songs and it just makes them into this sort of upbeat song, but they can be the most depressive song ever, and then puts them into a. Don't start saying that. We need to keep recording.
Okay, right. Okay, so that was Janie's Got a Gun by Aerosmith. Well, honestly, I completely forgot that song. It just jumped up in my mind, but as soon as he started singing it, I absolutely remembered it then.
It's just that. It's very catchy. So yeah, that was one of them songs that would play on repeat again and just learn every single word for. My next song though was this was probably getting up to about the age of 10, 11. I was hanging around with this kid next door. I used to he'd either be in my house all the time or I'd be in his house all the time. His name was Kevin Oram. And used to hang around in his house, and his older brother was into LPs, and he had loads of LPs, but he invited us into his room to play on because we were playing on a Mega Drive, but he got a Sega Saturn, and we went in to play this Sega Saturn, and he was playing For Whom the Bell Tolls on LP at the time. And I was like, "Who the hell is this?" And he was like, "It's Metallica, do you like it?" And I was like, "Never heard something so fucking cool in my life." It was so sort of boomy, and it was like, this is incredible. And just fell in love with the band instantly.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I'll tell you what, it's got a cassette player, and I'll get us some new cassettes, and I'll record all the albums onto cassette for you." So we did. And that was it then. I just listened to Metallica then for I swear down, about 6 months straight. Listened to probably I think it was about 4 albums at the time. And I just listened to them straight for 6 months. Nothing else at all. And I became such a massive Metallica fan. I'm still a massive Metallica fan today. The band that got me into metal, I suppose. So I've gone from softer rock stuff into heavier stuff through that. So yeah, it's the song. It's very much about war. I think they wrote it being inspired by God, Ernest Hemingway. It was an Ernest Hemingway novel about war and about like people dying and during war, literally, for whom the bell tolls. So
Yeah.
I can't tell you too much more about it because I don't know that much. But I do know that in the song as well, Cliff Burton, he's sadly dead now, but he used a wah-wah pedal on his bass, and you can hear it in the song. It adds this sort of like extra dimension to the song and makes it even more boomy. And because nobody ever plugged the bass into a wah-wah before, so he'd come up with this idea of like plugging his bass into a wah-wah, and it sounds fucking incredible. That's it for that.
Okay, so that was Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. So, Mike, what's your final one?
So for my final one, as you can tell, I was starting getting into heavier and heavier stuff, and at the time, my sister's boyfriend was on the scene a lot, and he was hearing I was listening to like heavier stuff, and he was like, "Have you heard of a band called Soundgarden?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "You should listen to these," and he handed me over a tape, and it was like the proper tape as well. It wasn't just sort of like a copy tape. He was like, "Listen to these," and it was the album Bad Motorfinger. And at the time, I was riding my motorbike a lot, and I'd go out on my motorbike on the fields. You know the fields I'm talking about, Ian.
I know exactly what fields.
Yeah, where we used to all take our motorbikes and just rag around. And I used to put
Or walk the
headphones
dog.
in. Yeah, well, you wouldn't walk your dog down there much at that time because there was people ragging motorbikes on it constantly. But
Exactly.
yeah, I had like headphones in when I was riding my bike, riding my DT125, ragging across the fields, and I started listening to Soundgarden's I just said the album then, Bad Motorfinger, and it was such a good album to listen to and just let off steam. But the song off the album that really made me feel like I was energetic and I could do anything on this bike, and I used to do jumps and all sorts and like go nuts. But the song Rusty Cage would absolutely fire me up, and it really, really did bring me further towards sort of like my journey towards heavy metal, because it's a fucking incredible song. They a lot of like grunge bands at the time would like playing drop D, which is taking the top E string, the low sounding E string at the top of the guitar. They would drop it down one octave down to D, and that would give it a more of a bassy sound. They dropped it down to B for this song, so it was basically a floppy string. And you can hear that in the song as well. You can hear that like sort of like plucking about the string, and it just sounds fucking incredible. And it used to fire me up to foot. So I shall. That's my choice, I think. It's just that sort of like dum dum. It slows down so much, but it goes into almost like a jazzy thing, and it's like it just changes the whole flow of it. And Chris Cornell's vocals, just unbelievable. You know, God rest his soul.
It is really good.
It's fucking amazing, and as I say, that like I got into grunge from that and started listening to much earlier grunge from that as well. So like I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then obviously I found Pearl Jam, and then I heard about Temple of the Dog, which were Eddie Vedder's and Chris Cornell's band before they split up and did two different bands, Soundgarden and Pearl Jam. They were actually in this band Temple of the Dog together. So, but Soundgarden literally, if you look at it and you actually look at the history of Soundgarden, they started grunge. Chris Cornell started grunge with Soundgarden. It was about, and it was happening in Seattle, but it hadn't hit the big time yet. It wasn't until like a couple of Soundgarden songs started getting played on the radio and stuff that grunge started getting bigger. And Eddie Vedder even like says that it's like Chris Cornell, it was his genius that started it.
I think it's like I was saying earlier, I think the other Chris Cornell song I listened to, that was one of the other songs I'd listened to on repeat, was the "You Know My Name" from Casino Royale.
That's Audio Slave, I think. You know my name? Yeah, I think that was.
That was Chris Cornell. It was just a Chris Cornell single. Just
oh, was it on his own?
Yeah.
Let me just have a look.
Such a good song.
Oh yeah. I think he was using the Audio Slave band for it as well, though. At the time, because at the time Soundgarden had split, and they'd gone off the scene for years until they came back with an album like a year before he died. They did King Animal, I think, and then I say he died. He killed himself, pretty much. So
that was really sad when he passed.
He killed himself after Chester Bennington killed himself. He was massive friends with him, wasn't he? So I think that spurred him on. Like his depression had been there for like throughout. I mean, you listen to his songs. Like he's always talking about suicide. There's literally a song called "Like Suicide." There's a song called "Pretty Little Noose." I mean, you know the major one, "Black Old Sun, Won't You Come Take Me Away?" Like he was always talking about suicide. So it's sad, but it wasn't unexpected. And then I think when Chester did it, I think that spurred him on and went, "Well, I can do it as well." So fucked up, but yeah, we lost one of the greats.
Yeah, we did. Okay, well, on that sad note, I think we're moving on to Craig now, aren't we?
On that bombshell.
Yeah.
Hello, that Craig.
Well, like I said, I've only got two that I can think of really. Like I said, but like I said, one's not even like a genre. Like it is just my favorite song, and there's no particular reason. But I'll save that one for the second one. But like this song come out in 2002, and I used to be. That's when I started roughly doing my skating. So there was a lot more like baggy pants wearing and listening to different types of music, but it was more like emo type of music at that time with a lot of skaters and stuff. So anything, I know not really like emo, but like Blink 182, who do you call it, Green Day. I know you shouldn't mention them, but you got like it's not the band's fault, but the music is good. Lost Prophets. So
no, that's great. I mean, how much younger than us are you?
I'm 36. So at this,
so that time,
yeah,
literally, it was very emo-y then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was so 2000. That's what I mean. 2002. It was like I said. So it was all that time, roughly that time. But I'd never been into heavy metal. Like I said, I don't. It's what got me into heavy metal. This band, and like I said, I always watched. Like I said, we used to have Kerrang and that, so I'd watch it. If I saw them come on, I'd turn it off because I just didn't like it. But the song was at the end of a certain movie, and that was Resident Evil. So I don't know if you can remember what the end of that song was.
I can't remember the ending of the film. Like with that. No, I do actually remember it.
It's from the first. It's from the first one, not the second one, because the second one's got an awesome ending song as well. But the first one was Slipknot's "My Plague," and the reason why I liked it is because it wasn't as heavy. For like even like a heavy metal band, it was like I said, it's obviously the music heavy in it, but there wasn't the shouting and stuff like that. But obviously, I like the shouting and stuff now. But whenever I first listened to Slipknot, like at the time, it was stuff like Left Behind, and I just didn't like the videos or the music to it and stuff at first. But obviously now I love it. But
It's so funny, isn't it?
that's
Though,
what me,
when
that's
you
what
get
me,
into metal,
yeah,
you listen to like softer stuff, and it gets heavier and heavier gradually.
heavier.
You
But
don't
that's what I
just
mean.
start listening
Like
to
you said, the version for the movie was a bit softer than the actual version that's out properly for it. Like there is a heavier version, but that's what say Slipknot that got me into heavy metal. Like I said, and what I'm gutted about as well is like I've seen them 4 times and they've never played that song live. The 4 times that I've been to see him, they've never played that song live. It's the one that
Craig,
actually got me into it.
we need to go together. I'll get you on my shoulders with a sign that
And
says
I'll
"Play the
play
fucking
my
song."
play. Yeah. So, like I said, but yeah, it was the one that's at the end of the second movie, Resident Evil 2, is Kill Switch Engage. My Heartache is it?
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, fucking brilliant song.
Yeah, that's an awesome
Yeah,
one. But like I said, that's what got me into the heavy metal music. Slipknot, My Plague. So I don't know if Ian knows much about it.
What was the song again?
My
Yeah, it just
Plague.
completely went. Never heard of it. Slipknot. I've seen them live. They're quite. You know what? I was never into Slipknot, but actually liked them live.
Yeah. I mean,
Can't
come
remember
on. They liked it. It's all an act.
Oh yeah,
And,
Yeah.
like
I-
Corey
I-
Taylor is the most loveliest guy in the world.
he is. Like I said,
Oh no,
he's
yeah.
brilliant.
I'm not saying I didn't like the attitude of the band. Just the music, I just wasn't like overly a big fan of. But when I saw them live, I enjoyed myself. You know what I mean?
Have you heard any Corey Taylor's like solo stuff? It's complete opposite of Slipknot.
Like I said, depends who it is. With I forgot what they call them. Stone Sour is not. It can be Stone Sour, can be some heavy, some of it, but quite a lot
Oh
of it is.
no.
If you, but
Stone
yeah, I mean,
Sour. I've seen Stone Sour live in
yeah,
Manchester. and
some of
they-
the stuff, like I said, some of the stuff can be heavy as well, but like it's not as heavy as Slipknot. There is a lot of lighter, but the album he's just brought out on his own is
yeah,
that's quite
his
light.
solo stuff.
Yeah,
Because it's more folky and a bit
yeah,
like bit western. It's a bit like country and western.
a bit, yeah.
It's definitely got that vibe to it.
But yeah,
Um,
like I said, this song, like I said, it just got me into heavy metal. Like I said, it just wasn't as heavy with the singing, and then obviously you're like, oh, sorry, let's watch the rest of it, and then it gets you into other bands and stuff. Like I said, you hear Kill Switch Engage, Trivium, because they were all the big ones at the time who were out. Not Mike, I don't know what Mike. Bullet from a Valentine. And speaking of those 2 bands, Trivium and Bullet from a Valentine, I'm going to watch I think it was the 25th anniversary in January next year, and I can't wait.
nice.
So we've got tickets to go watch that in Manchester.
These are all great bands, Craig. I don't know what your worry was before about picking songs. Like
No,
these
it's
are
not for you.
great music artists.
Oh yeah, no, it's just I don't usually have songs that I fixate on. Like if I like a song, I'll listen to it and I'll listen to it a couple of times, then it'll go into my playlist, and then it'll just figure out.
Yes, but these are
this
songs that sort of brought you
This
into.
got me into heavy metal. Yeah, Slipknot, and this song did, because, like I said, it was at the end of Resident Evil watching it. Like I
The
said,
song that got me into Slipknot was "Wait and Bleed."
see, like I said,
Oh yeah,
I'd
that's a good
seen
song,
that.
that
I've
is.
seen that and Left Behind, but like I said, it was like the shouting, and it's just like, oh, I can't be
You
arsed
didn't
with
like
that.
it then, yeah.
But then obviously when I heard this one, it was like it wasn't as bad, and like I liked the music to it and that, and I just was like, sod it, let's watch it. And then when you watch it more, you just get into other bands, don't you? So
Yeah, I think because I was into metal at the time, Wait and Bleed came out and the music video hit MTV2. It was such a huge phenomenon when that came out. Because, I mean, Slipknot had been around for quite a while at that point. But that song launched them again, even bigger. So, yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Like,
it is.
what turned you on to different music? It's like, I say, like I was talking about Metallica before, just sitting around my friend's house playing on fucking Sega Saturn, and I heard this album, like, I like this.
Like I said, I grew up in a pub as well, and I used to work in the kitchen helping out. So I spent and in the kitchen, there's always a radio on, and obviously in there
I,
it was never heavy
I,
metal. It was just what's on the radio. So I grew up listening to music a lot anyway, and what's on. So
I grew up in a bakery, and like downstairs was always like whatever people wanted to play downstairs in the back. and then upstairs was my dad listening to metal and rock. So there's such a massive difference of like influences of music.
Well, that's what I mean. Like mine was just the radio music. So like I said, it was always virtually like pop music, or either you get like the odd classic rock music on there and stuff like that. You'd never get heavy
Yeah.
metal or anything. So like I said, I had to sort of search for that myself when I was obviously when I
Did you
started.
tend to like, you know what? I think I can understand why that song connected with you quite early on, because it's got a 4/4 beat. It was like 1, 2.
That's
3,
what I mean.
4,
It's not.
1, 2,
It's
3,
got
4.
a heavy,
It's not.
but it's catchy. Is like it's just.
It's not crazy.
No.
It's It's got a very 4/4 beat, which really, if you listen to that Soundgarden song back again, that starts out with the 4/4 beat, and then when it hits that point where I said at like 2 minutes 47 or whatever it is, then the beat changes and it goes a little bit offbeat. Then
what it is with the heavy metal as well, like my favorite is like how it is, like it's in this, and then they have the chorus, which is just a nice singing voice. I love metal like that. I've just always loved heavy metal like that.
Corey Taylor's so good at that, because
he's got a good voice
this
anyway.
grunting voice. Have you listened to Devin Townsend?
No.
Don't listen to Devin Townsend, just Devin Townsend. It's called the Devin Townsend Project. Listen to his music, because I swear down, if you like that sort of thing where it's like very like crazy and then operatic, he does that so well, because his voice has got like, people can't figure out how he can do his vocals. Like there's been like singers have like done like reviews of his videos going, I could never do what he does. It's incredible, because he literally he'll go from a proper metal song and then it'll stop and go into an operatic thing and then back into the metal song again. It's so good.
Yeah, Slipknot, My Plague is my first one. Like I said, I've only got the 2, so and
Craig, what is your final choice?
I don't know why it's my favorite song ever. I just love it for some reason. There's 2 versions that I love of it. Like I said, there's no particular reason why it's my favorite. It just is my favorite song of all time, and like I said, I just love it. Like it was made famous by a certain movie that I think came out in the 30s. The second one gives Ian the creeps a bit.
Not Tiptoe Through the Tulips, is it?
No, it's The Wizard of Oz.
Somewhere over there. It's not. Please,
it's Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
it's not. It's not the version by.
Version?
It's not. It's not Eva Cassidy, is it?
Mine is Eva Cassidy.
Oh my! Really?
I do love that one, and the Hawaiian guy, I can't even pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, and Israel.
Israelis,
something like that. Yeah. I don't, like I said, there's no particular reason like why it's my favorite or anything, but I just love that song. It is
a really good song.
Makes me happy every time I listen to it.
Just like Eva Cassidy's version just makes me so sad, and
I love Eva Cassidy's version. It's just brilliant.
But that ukulele version.
But yeah,
the ukulele version is beautiful.
It is really
good.
Like I said, I think that's come like really well, obviously it's popular anyway, but he's brought it back a bit. He's dead now as well, unfortunately.
I mean, not surprised the size of him.
Yeah, he didn't exactly look after himself as much. But yeah, like I said, there's just no particular reason though. Like I said, it's just something that I've always liked since I was in high school. And like I said, it's just weird though, because like the type of music that I like, like I said, heavy metal's my favorite, and then you just got like other genres that I just like and stuff. But then you got something like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is my favorite song ever.
I can fully understand that though, and I mean, obviously that song meant so much to that Hawaiian guy that he ended up like covering it into that beautiful song that me and Ian love. So that original song is way better, obviously, or Eva Cassidy's versions. Like it's
like I said, it was sung by Judy Garland first, wasn't it? So
was that the original?
That was Judy Garland, because she's the one from Wizard of Oz. She's the one who
Yeah.
sang it first, then Eva Cassidy, and then Israel Isa Kamawakawu, something like that. I don't even spell it, but yeah, that. But yeah, it
I
was.
don't even want to try it. Like I have, we've all three of us tried to say it, but why don't you like it, Ian?
I know I like the song. Just Eva Cassidy's version, just really. I'm sorry, Craig. It depresses the fuck out of me.
Why? Because you slowed it down and made it more melodic.
I don't know. I just felt it just drained all the drained just the. I don't know how to put it, but
I
it just
like
felt
that. I
drained
like that
afterwards.
she's done that as well, and she even
Yeah.
look at her playing it live, like on one. She puts a capo on the first fret as well, so she brings it up to a different pitch to play it to match her voice. I think she's doing a really good version of it. Yeah, it's a bit depressing, but some of the best songs are.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, fucking hell, I said For Whom the Bell Tolls. That's literally about people dying at war.
True. Yeah, I suppose the green fields of France.
Janie's got a gun to about a kid killing herself. That's just like a dad
True.
raped her.
I mean, what was that? I was going to say about the time I spent an entire summer listening to Ordinary World by Duran Duran because Kaz Beals dumped me.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's the type of songs that we need to listen to. They help us through issues and stuff. So I have no issue with somebody doing a sadder version of friggin' Over the Rainbow. In fact,
Yeah.
I could see this being somebody's funeral song quite easy.
It
An
was
amazing funeral song.
all his mums as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see that one.
I had that. We had that going in to the into the chapel, whatever it is.
Now don't you feel like a heel, Ian?
We had over the rainbow going in, but we had his version playing.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Oh
now.
yeah, you were there. Forgot Ian. Bloody hell. Halfway through because
Now you should feel like shit, Ian, because like you literally dissed it so much.
I shit on the
don't you-
Eva Cassidy
don't you-
version. I
have
like
you-
the one that was played.
then
You played the Eva Cassidy version.
we had what's it called? We had Stone Sour's Through the Glass on because
Such a good song.
that's what I mean. Rochelle loves Corey Taylor. She absolutely
Yeah.
loved him, so I thought for her would have one of his songs. So I put Through the Glass on because it's one that's not too. It's not heavy. Even when it picks up, it's just nice. And obviously, he doesn't shout or scream in it or anything like that. And then coming out, a mum picked the song that them two used to sing together was I've Got You, Babe. You know that I can't remember how it goes now. I've got you, babe. How's it going now?
They say we're young, but
Yeah,
they don't
that's it.
know.
That's it. I've got you, babe. But what made it what was weird as well about it when obviously they were doing the headstone. When they were doing the headstone for her, like I just had like Loving Mom, Soulmate, and stuff like that put on it with the date of birth, and obviously when she passed. But it looks so blank, and literally, I don't know how it was. The names of all those songs, put them together. Like I know some. I can't remember how it is on the headstone now. That's how bad it's bad. I'm not thinking. It's called the song's called Over the Rainbow, but I put Somewhere Over there. If you put all the names of it, it's got Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I'm looking at you through the glass. I've got you, babe. It kind of makes it like a sentence.
So, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, so that's it, but in a weird like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I'm looking at you through the glass. I've got you, babe. So it kind of made a weird sentence. So I had that put onto the gravestone as well. It sort of works. But yeah, like I said, it was just a weird coincidence how it worked like that.
Isn't it weird that like we've all sort of like connected music with like probably sad points and happy points as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, definitely, like I think that's where like certain songs stick in your mind a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like your highest and your lowest. I don't
I'd
want to
agree
put
with
you
that.
down, but yeah. But also your highest as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of the best fucking times in life is listening to Soundgarden and Rusty Cage bombing along a field at 70 mile an hour illegally.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it
Being
was
chased
fun.
by the police.
No, because it was in all honesty, it was an unadopted field. So the police used to come down and they'd like talk to you and you go, are you supposed to be riding on here? Well, it's unadopted. You couldn't do anything. Now it's adopted land. You can't really ride down there anymore. But yeah, at the time, it was very legal.
It still feels now, isn't it?
It's getting built on now.
Is it? They're
Yeah,
finally building the marina that they've been threatening to do for years.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but there's tons of trucks going down. I took the dog for a walk down there not long ago, and you can't get down there. It's all just it's all cordoned off, which is a bit annoying because it's actually greenbelt land apparently with a walk, but you can't walk through it. So you literally cannot walk along there at all now, and they're building something down there, but
I remember the original thing. They was going to build like a marina down there, but that was it.
yeah, it's a floodplain, so it's literally it's going to sink. Don't buy a house down there.
So that was our musical influences.
Certainly was. That was
It
a
was,
lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
I know, yeah.
Well,
oops.
Ian did take a while making the longest drink ever.
Oh, sorry, I was like longest drink ever. Then I had to
do
something else. Then I
even
had
the
to
recording's
wash my
nearly
mic.
2 hours.
I know.
It is, yeah.
We have been on for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, but thing is, though, I think that's a good thing, though, because when you're talking about things that you love,
yeah,
it's easier to flow with, and
it is,
especially something that connects you with a memory. I think so. Yeah, we should do more of these type of things.
I think we should. Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed it.
We'll just have a little think, or take suggestions. So that's you listeners.
Yep.
Suggest
like what something that we can talk about. I know the subject for the next episode, so we'll be back next week with something that
I'm going to be spending
very important for you.
I'm going to be spending a lot of time on YouTube over the next week.
Like I said, I've got no idea of like I know what it's about, but I've got no idea about it at all.
Craig, I'm going to be with you, but I am going to watch a lot of videos. Some of the podcasts I'm currently listening to keep talking about this subject, so I kind of want to listen. I kind of want to watch some of it. So
okay, well, this has been the Geeky Dad Strike Back. I've been Ian Duffy.
Wait a second. Wait,
what?
I'm not ready. Wait 1 second.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Mike.
You're not ready, are you, either, Craig?
No.
No. Yeah, do another take.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, this has been the Geeky Dad Strike Back. I've been Ian Duffy, joined by Mike Shellshire and Craig Edwards.
Au revoir.
Michael's just doing this to piss me off and annoy me.
I was just hoping you'd pass out.
Maybe off more helium. You're a swine, Michael. You're a swine.
You just hear poof in a minute.
Actually, my chest is getting quite tight, so I think I'm going to have to knock this off for the night now.
That diddly was me doing what he plays at the end of the podcast.
I'm just gonna have a lie down now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
The Geeky Dad Strike Back.
The Geeky Dad Strike Back
is
brought to you by Studio Bristol.